Good evening and welcome to the Glazov gang. I'm not Jamie Glazov, I'm Josh Brewster, back with you for some more fun and games with the Dream Team, as Jamie likes to call them. Here they are, Dwight Schultz. You know him as Murdoch from the A-Team, DwightSchultzFansite.nl. Over here, Mr. Eric Allen Bell, and he's going to report about the Murfreesboro Mosque in Tennessee and all kinds of other stuff. He's been on the show many times. He's a great guest. And our new panelist, who I'm very, very honored to have here tonight, Susan Olson from LATalkRadio.com and some 70s TV show that I don't remember the name of, but I watched basically every week for years. And she hosts a show called Two Chicks Talking Politics. Susan, welcome back.
Thank you.
You didn't run away after the first segment.
I did not.
That was great of you. That was great of you. You know, there's a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and it's NASA. And NASA is quite the embattled agency these days. You know, we have to hitch a ride up to the International Space Station, and that's not good. Some of this country's greatest achievements, I feel, were in space. I never thought it was a waste of money by any stretch of the imagination. But there's a guy in the White House now who doesn't have quite as friendly a take toward NASA, I don't think. Dwight, did you want to fill us in a little bit about what's going on with NASA? Because I really wanted to talk about this.
Yes, I was watching on the NASA channel JPL's extraordinary accomplishment, landing Curiosity on Mars, a ton. 2,000-pound vehicle, one of the most complex landings. And I had doubts that it was going to work, and I happen to know some of the people who are behind this. 7 years in the making, 10 years if you put everybody together. Of course, they didn't do that. They didn't build that.
Right, they didn't build it.
It was just an amazing event. I was so proud. I was jumping up and down like I was watching a touchdown in a Super Bowl. And then all of a sudden I saw John Holdren come in. And I literally, in front of my friends, became a demon. Huh. This was, I somehow in the back of my head, I knew John Holdren, a redistributionist, a Marxist socialist, who was the architect of the president's programs. He's the man who's responsible for global warming being insinuated into every department of government, including the faith-based outreach program. There's a global warming climate change.
He's not winning a lot of fans.
No,
as the
he's
head
not.
Of NASA.
He wrote a book. Well, listen. He wrote a book called Eco-Science. He was initially he was a global coolingist, but he changed. Every prediction this man has ever made has not happened. He said we would have no food by 1999, we would have no minerals by 1999, we would have no oil by 1999, there'd be starvation and death everywhere, and he's always wrong because he's actually a socialist Marxist. And if you go up on the internet, you can find him saying, what we need to do is to tax the wealthy nations of the world and redistribute that money to the poor nations. And the United States in particular must stop consumer.
De-develop.
De-develop. Right? He has a program to de-develop the United States. But he got up on the podium at this moment when all of the people in NASA, at JPL, all of the scientists should have been center stage. And he got up there and he said, this is because of the leadership of Barack Obama. And he is responsible for defunding the very things that he was there lying about because he didn't celebrate this.
Now,
he tried to pull the rug out.
There were three things that Obama laid out for this gentleman, and one of them was outreach to Muslims, right?
Yes.
Three things as
to make them feel. No, that's Bolden. That's Charlie Bolden.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he's the administrator at
Go ahead.
NASA.
And he was told.
He was told.
Re-inspire children, get into science and math.
That's right.
That's good.
That's right.
Wanted to expand our international relationships.
Right.
And third, find a way to reach out to the Muslim communities and engage them with,
to make them feel better about themselves.
Wait a minute. NASA's going to reach out.
Yes.
Their job is to reach out. Their job isn't to put people on Mars. Their job is to reach out to the Muslim world.
I thought that was feel better about their scientific accomplishments.
Yes. By being less accomplished.
And by the way, I want to add something here, Dwight. Isn't having a nice open border where people can come and study at our universities from all over the world and get hired at the Jet Propulsion Lab, isn't that outreach to the Muslim world?
Well,
I mean, there's no shortage of Muslim scientists in this country, and good for them. Good for them. Well, I mean,
Listen, this is it's antithetical to the charter of NASA. We all understand exactly where this came from. We know this comes from Obama. We know that it is an attempt to diminish the power power of the United States worldwide, and literally to take our accomplishments, spread them out in 1 week. It was right after his State of the Union speech, and this to me was one of those things which, because of the media being what it is, they don't talk about this. He said, "What we need to do." This is Obama, and this is part of John Holdren's architecture. We need to compete with China with high-speed trains. That's what we need to do. That same week, he killed the space shuttle, so that we had no way of sending our astronauts into space, and that we were dependent on the Russians in 1 week. And he cut back the budget for planetary exploration from 1.5 to 1.3 billion, and now we have given California $3.4 billion for high-speed trains for 100 miles from the Central Valley to nowhere.
Okay, I want to get some thoughts over here, and then I'm going to finish with a funny story that an astronaut once told me. Eric, are you, as a person, and Susan, you grew up watching Neil Armstrong land on the moon. By the way, Neil Armstrong wrote a very, very harsh letter to Obama into the USA Today with some other astronauts expressing his disdain for Obama's policies regarding NASA. Are you disappointed at all that NASA has taken a step back, that we don't have a way to get up to the space?
I was disappointed, absolutely. I mean, why would we, as the most innovative culture in the history of the world, ever apologize or ever slow down for the slowest guy? Why would we take a political movement that's hell-bent on staying in the 700s, that's hostile to us, pour billions of dollars into it, and beg them to like us and outreach and waste our resources and our time and our talent?
Yeah, like he said, I mean, I couldn't believe it when I heard that was going to be one of NASA's goals, is to make the Muslims of the world feel better about their scientific accomplishments. There's a reason why there's no scientific accomplishments. There is a book that holds them back. There is an ideology that holds them back. This is why they don't have the medical wherewithal. I mean, they can't even do medical illustration.
And many of their best and their brightest have moved to the West, which I always say, by the way, if you hate my politics, that's fine, but just check the human migration patterns of this world, and you tell me whether American particularism works.
And just remember this, that there were 10,000 people laid off in Florida at NASA. And when you kill a program and the technology disappears, you just can't snap your fingers and start it up again. It's done purposefully. Our dependence, this is identical to Obama putting his hand on Medvedev's hand and saying, "I'll have more flexibility, tell Vladimir later." This is part and parcel of the same program which pulled the rug out from the Poles with our missile treaty. This is the same program with Barack Obama walking around the world and saying, "Oh, well, I find the United States exceptional the same way the Greeks find the Greeks exceptional, the Brits find..." No. There is... If everybody is equal, then there is no exceptional.
Right.
And that's what he wants for us. We have a provocateur and a man who is being operated from behind a curtain. And I'm sorry to say it, he's a socialist Marxist. The proof is there right now. It is as clear as a bell, and his programs are being successful. John Holdren, who stood up and lied about he lied. It was just horrific. But he is happy about the state of affairs at NASA because it is his dream to see the United States de-developed and to see it happen. And he knows who's responsible, and they're in concert.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's a little statement that I think resonates with all of us, and that is Obama's recent leakage out of his mouthage that said, "You didn't build it," which you don't say that to Americans.
That's right.
The guy who builds the business is the guy who pays the bills. He's responsible for everything. Don't tell me just because you built some roads that you didn't build that business. Did this gall you?
Yeah.
You didn't build that?
Well, you can hear the cheering in the audience, and I thought, well, this plays into anybody who hasn't done anything. Who says, it's all because somebody else was in my way, and that's why I haven't accomplished anything.
And you know what? If you're a worker, you're glad someone took a risk because they built up a company that you're working at. Go ahead, Eric. Does this gall you, this you didn't build it?
I think, I remember I met a guy a few years ago, and he had bought a brand new Mercedes, and he said he wanted a Bentley. And I was very far left at that time. And then I saw him about 6 months later, and he had the Bentley, and he mentioned that he had to hire 350 new people so he could get it. And I thought, It was one of the first signs, like, maybe I'm wrong about this.
Right, maybe I need to have some second
You created
thoughts.
350 new jobs to get the Bentley?
Yeah, Dwight, real quick, because I'm almost done with the second. 2 thumbs down on you. You didn't build it.
And not only that, but there are, in order to do what the people at JPL did, you actually have to believe that you are smart.
Yeah, don't forget, by the way, one thing about all these space missions, there's more computer power in my cell phone than there was in all the computers that sent man to the moon combined. Who sent man to the moon? Man sent man to the moon, and it was American men and women who sent man to the moon. Okay, in our third segment, it's just going to keep on rolling along with the dream team here. Folks, don't forget to check out David Horowitz's new book with Jacob Laxton, The New Leviathan. You won't go wrong. Thanks so much for watching the Glazov Gang, brought to you by the David Horowitz Freedom Center.